Kiki's.
Everybody come over here.
Would you like to give me a little introduction on your family?
We are going to
Brady
there's
and-
flies.
Brady and Don's family with Trinity Ranch. We grow hydroponic salad greens and herbs, and specifically for the school system, we're in 4 different school districts at the moment.
So
and
if you had told us when we moved here, we figured we're here about 12 years here. If you had told us that we were going to be doing hydroponics, the first thing I would have said is, what's hydroponics? And I probably would have laughed because I killed a lot of plants for a lot of years, you know, and that was kind of like, I always say it's God's sense of humor, because I was like, if you told us that's how we were going to be making a living, I would have been like, no way. But we really have been doing this about 7 years, the hydroponics, and really love it. It's really the school of hard knocks. You learn by doing, you know. We're not, you'll hear a lot of vertical farming and hydroponic farming that is very technical, and we have built this stick by stick. It's not technical, but a lot of the tech ones that are huge and put all that money into it go out of business pretty quickly, because if you're going to make a living, you have to learn how to scrap, you know. And so hopefully, you know, you'll see all the love and passion that's going into this.
what we do can be done inside of a steel building or a warehouse. It just takes a lot of light and a lot of electricity to make the same thing happen. We harvest the sun, obviously, but it's still a controlled environment where we cool in the summer and heat in the winters. And we also chill the water, heat the water. That's about the only way in Texas you could grow lettuce all summer long, is to be able to climate control and control its nutrients. So,
It still challenges you when we hit our 105 to 110 degrees weather. You can only lower the temperature so much in the house, but you know, we learn chicks chill in the water the best that we can, and just praying. A lot of hard work, you know, because
we'll make up a t-shirt, let us pray.
yes, that's about how we get through. So you know, it's a good combination for us. He's a jack of all trades. He has always been able to do everything. He can look at it and learn it and just do it, and I cannot. But I have a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of passion, and I love people, and I enjoy hard work, and it's taught me a lot. That was one of my prayers when we started, is just let me be the person that grows with this. You know what I mean? That I learned to be a better person as I go. And we have times when we were just like 3 or 4 months, we were just surviving. You know, we just don't have anything left, and then you pick up again. And that's just, I think business in general, you know, farming can be an extra hard thing sometimes, but we've been blessed. We're very thankful for our customers. Again, 4 of our biggest customers, we have 4 school districts, and we love working with them. They've been fabulous. It's good for them because they have lettuce that they don't waste. You know, a lot of the lettuce, when they came in before, it was wasted before they got started. And they know with our product, if they leave at Christmas time and they have a crate of lettuce left, they can put a quart of water in it, and when they come back in New Year's, they can still use it. And so that's been great for them. And the kids get nutritious meals, and you know, we just take it for granted. I'm sure same thing with you. You know, you have fresh food. I never really realized how much, you know, a lot of the kids don't get fresh food, or they don't know what it is. So they're learning that food comes locally, how it's grown. They're getting to eat fresh product. And you learn as you go. We had elementary school kids when we first started. The schools wanted red and green lettuce. Elementary school will not eat red lettuce. So now all we do is
something's
green
wrong
lettuce.
with the red lettuce.
Yeah.
Try to convince them that it has more vitamins and minerals in it, but
They don't care, it's red.
that's not lettuce.
So we have, you know, other than that, we pick, you know, we have some restaurants, and some, we have a co-op in San Antonio that is a huge client, and we were not going to do any more farmers markets. We had done some small farmers markets when we started, and when you're lettuce and herbs, you really have to have the right market. Otherwise, you know, you're setting up all day, you lose product, you lose time, you get home, you're tired, and you lost a lot of product. And so we all know the Brownie Farms, and so they're friends, and they were like, y'all need to check out the Pearl, they don't have a grower. And so we're like, okay. Yeah, so we picked them up about a year ago. We've been very thankful, and it has been we were surprised. It was such a refreshing thing for us, because we're actually meeting the people face to face who are eating the product, and they've been very encouraging. And I know y'all grow things, so there's times when you do the same thing. We're packing it and we're going, oh my word, this stuff looks terrible. We're like, it's just, and they said, we have never seen bad lettuce. But you're always harder on yourself. We expect a perfect product all the time, but that's not realistic. What you want is a healthy product all the time. And so I always tell him, even though we don't think the heads look great, the leaves are beautiful and they're delicious, So, we learn a lot by just being face to face with our customers all the time. So, we are going to, we'll ask you first if you have any questions before we go in. And we'll try to answer. And also, if y'all want anything to drink, I just made a few things up. I hope y'all don't mind dirt because the cups rolled on the ground and they have dirt on them.
Dirt's good.
But we have, and our flies just came because there's stuff here. So I made some, this is basil shortbread cookies, and we have some strawberry sage muffins and honey lemon balm muffins. So y'all are welcome to grab one or two. And we have holy basil tea. This is one of our favorite teas to make. We love holy basil. It is one of the best adaptogens for stress, so it helps your body adjust, which nobody has any stress.
Dominique, have a drink.
So we just drink this all the time. It does have a little bit of stevia in it, just a light sweetener. And this is lemon balm tea. It has a little bit of decaf green tea with a little bit of stevia. So y'all are welcome to grab, a little bit of this.
We have recipes for all the recipes.
Well, I can pass it on.
Okay.
There are other people's recipes that I picked up, so I'll give the credit to them.
Sounds good.
But
What's the clear one? Moonshine?
I know it's herbal moonshine. Okay, so
It's holy.
yes, it's holy basil. Yes.
Holy basil.
Holy
my
basil. Yes.
favorites.
Yeah, but it's fabulous. Have you all had the holy basil?
He was hoping it was ever clear.
I have never made
He was
any
hoping
tea,
it
but
was
now
ever
I know.
clear.
Yes, it's fabulous. Keep it in your fridge all the time because with the herbs. And one thing that I've discovered is that I really love natural health. I've always loved natural health, and the herbs have so much benefits. I got so frustrated because, for my own kind of health story with that, is that I had mold sickness years ago. We lived in Virginia, had a beautiful farmhouse, and I got very sick, and it crashed my whole nervous system. And even after 20 years, your system never totally recovers. It just takes a long time, and so. You do the supplements, you do the programs. After a while, I was like, what? I don't think this is ever how God intended for us to be swallowing all this stuff. I'm going to figure out how to use herbs to help your body heal itself. And so I've really fallen in love with that and learning the different tastes of herbs. And I'm taking herbalism courses and things like that so that I can learn. We need to reclaim the knowledge of how to use the natural things so that we can support our body so our body will heal. So I was telling him, it's so much. With our plants, we give them the right nutrients, and we give them, the right sun that they need, and this and that. With us, we just eat crap and do whatever we want, and we expect, why am I not feeling good? So, as I feed you stuff with sugar in it, which I very rarely do, but yes. So, but anyway, those are just some things about ourselves, and
We grew for Tyson Foods over in Virginia, and
we picked up 40,000 eggs a day.
it's gone from 30 to 40 now.
Well, it depends on the day.
Depends on which day. And this is a lot like that, where you have to control the environment. You have to ensure they have water, nutrients, food, everything they need, vitamins. This is very similar, but there's no dust involved, and it's much healthier. I got into this because I was having heart issues in 2017, and I'm a diesel mechanic, and I wanted to work from home and do something healthy. So I forced myself to try to eat a salad a day, whether I like to or not. But and it's nice. I just go in. There's no chemicals. It's not in the dirt. I go in and just pick a leaf off and put my own salad together every day. Just walk through and randomly,
That's nice.
And it's everybody's different with what they can eat and what works for their body. For him, he does fabulous on a salad day, which is perfect down here. One of the things I love about herbs is that I healed myself, forgive me, but I healed myself of my gut issues with carnivore. So I eat a lot of meat and I cannot eat vegetables or raw vegetables, which really drove me crazy because I love growing them. And so what I've discovered is that what we can do is drink the nutrients from the herbs. And so we're able to use our plants as our medicine, and eventually we'll get to where our body recovers enough to be able to do, eat what you want to do. So I love to go through and graze the herbs. He grazes the lettuce. But does anybody have any questions before we go in?
What kind of system are you using?
NFT. We put on the list all the different types. That's not everything, but I think we did not include aeroponics. But we do the NFT, which is, you'll see 10-foot pipes with water trickling in one end, and they're on a slant. They go into a gutter, return to a main system, and then get filtered and
I
recirculated.
think that's what we call ebb and flow.
No, ebb and flow would be like a table, a flat level table that is deep, and it's going to have your median, which could be what's the white stuff we use?
Vermiculite?
Vermiculite. Any of those things can be used, and it's deep so that the water will raise up several times a day and almost submerge the roots and then drain, and that pulls the oxygen back into it. The nutrient film is actually water just going underneath the plants, and just the fine roots are picking up the nutrients in the water, and the oxygen, the rest of the cube is exposed to the air, so it allows to oxygenate the plant.
You'll see a picture on there. I don't have it right in front of me, but let's see. A little bit, you'll see a picture. I thought I put a different one on there. Oh yeah. Okay, so the picture on the back of the first page is when we are beginning a greenhouse. When we started, it was a lot shorter than it was, and we did a little bit of everything. So you can see in there we have the pipes that are going across, and they're the NFT, and that's what we do now. And we also have the Dutch bucket system where we have the tomatoes in the middle. This is when we said it was really fun because we were just having fun. It wasn't as much work. It was still work, but not as much. But
My Garden of Eden.
and then in the back, which you can also see, I think I have another page. You can see a little bit better on the last picture, on the first page, or the third page. Okay, there's some tables there that have pink tops on them, little holes, and that was where we did some ebb and flow, which we would have put the plants in there, and the roots just hung down in there, and you didn't really have the running water all the time. You know, it more or less sat. We would give it air, you know, like a little bit of aeration. But, and it can be good for different kinds of plants. But for NFT, that's just worked fabulous for the lettuces and the
For
herbs.
this type of greens, the NFT seems to be the favorite. We've had some friends who did the deep water culture, and they would actually, it's floating rafts, basically your insulation board with holes punched in it. They would seed on one end of the building, and like a conveyor belt, they would flow it down. It would just be pushed down. As they added on this end and harvested on this end, it would just move along like a conveyor. We do all the manual conveyor.
We are the conveyor.
We could have spent, you know, $250,000 buying a system that would automatically bring the pipes to us. But, you know, that, again, that cuts into your profit. And, you know, it's good exercise to move those tubes down. So,
That's your story and you're speaking too.
Yeah. You can ask my chiropractor too. I would have saved us.
10-foot pipes, and she picks them up on the end. Now, I
I
tell her
do.
to get in the middle and balance it, you know.
But I will one day. You know, I like to do things the hard way. I was just going to say one of the things that, you know, we didn't mention really is when we first started, we just kind of have to, you know, for a legacy aspect. My dad was 82, I think, when we started. There's a picture, I think the first picture on there was a picture of him and my husband when they were starting it. And he was the one who encouraged Grady after he had his stents put in and stuff. He was like, you have always wanted to do this, so let's just do it. My dad was a builder his whole life. He had built houses, he had built churches, water slides, blobs for the lakes, you know, cabins for camps. And so
He always had a bigger budget, so you won't, you won't see, you know, his handiwork. I mean, he has helped a lot, but
yes.
it's on our budget.
But we learned, Brady's learned a lot from
Yeah.
him, and so
We
he's
built
kind
a
of like
lot
our
of things
legacy
together.
for this, you know. We lost Dad last year, so in September, so we continue this and always just want to keep his legacy going, you know. So we still have Mom here. She's 91. She's still, you'll see in the back before you leave probably, my dad had built her a big chicken coop, and she has got chickens in there. She still takes care of every day. She's got all kinds of pots along the back that are herbs, and she grows them specifically for her chickens. And she feeds every day, goes through and picks them, cuts them, feeds them to her chicken. It keeps her going. You know, it's what she loves to do. So we'll go ahead and kind of head back that way. Go ahead and if you want to grab some of this stuff on the way through. Y'all don't mind dirt on your foot.
She's doing it now. So I'll break it into tubes.
Wow.
I'm so out of practice.
Where do you get what it's growing in?
The water?
No,
The material.
growing in here. Yeah.
That's called Oasis Horticubes. It's a thin cut. Each sheet has 276 of them. So see, they're easy to snap apart.
Yeah, that's great. I saw you doing that. That's why I wondered.
Yep. I'm doing an awful
So
job.
you
here.
never transfer them from one block to another. They stay in the same little.
Yeah, for 2 weeks, and then they get put out into nurseries.